A mysterious genetic mutation has recently been discovered in one of the world's rarest big cats. This mutation, observed in a population of Amur leopards, has researchers both excited and alarmed. Found only in the Russian Far East, these leopards are already critically endangered, with fewer than 100 individuals left. The mutation affects a key regulatory gene involved in fur coloration and thermal regulation. Scientists noticed several cubs born with unusually pale fur and inconsistent coat patterns. At first glance, these features seemed harmless, possibly even beneficial for camouflage in snowy terrain. However, closer examination revealed subtle vulnerabilities in these mutated leopards. The pale fur correlates with reduced melanin, weakening natural UV protection and temperature regulation. This could spell trouble during harsh winters or hotter summers, both becoming more frequent due to climate change. More concerning is that the mutation appears to be spreading rapidly through the tiny population. Genetic bottlenecks from inbreeding are amplifying the presence of the altered gene. As mating options shrink, this mutation could become dominant within a few generations. A dominant gene with potential weaknesses could jeopardize the entire species' long-term survival. Researchers are scrambling to understand how this genetic shift might affect the leopard's physiology and reproductive success. Initial studies show some mutated individuals have lower fertility rates compared to their non-mutated counterparts. The mutation may also influence immune system resilience, leaving leopards vulnerable to disease outbreaks. Conservationists are facing a difficult question. Should they intervene to prevent this gene from spreading further? Genetic diversity is already dangerously low among Amur leopards, and this mutation complicates efforts to stabilize the species. One proposed solution is controlled breeding programs to increase diversity while limiting the mutation's influence. However, this requires careful monitoring and collaboration between international wildlife agencies and geneticists. Critics argue that tampering with natural evolution might have unintended consequences for the species. But without action, nature might not have time to correct the course on its own. Climate change, habitat loss, and now genetic instability are stacking odds against the Amur leopard. Some scientists see a silver lining in that the mutation may help adapt to changing environments if properly managed. Evolution is unpredictable, and what seems like a weakness today might become a strength tomorrow. To find out, researchers are conducting genome mapping and protein analysis on mutated and non-mutated specimens. Their goal is to isolate which traits are beneficial and which ones are potentially harmful. Newer technology like CRISPR might one day be used to correct or enhance specific genes. But ethical concerns around gene editing in wild animals remain a hot topic. Meanwhile, conservationists are increasing surveillance to track how widespread the mutation is becoming in the wild. Camera traps and DNA samples help estimate how fast it's spreading and whether it's affecting survival. The mutation has now also been detected in a small group of captive Amur leopards outside Russia. This suggests the gene may have silently existed for decades, only recently rising to prominence. Conservation programs are now exchanging data to coordinate global strategies for addressing this genetic shift. Educational outreach is also being ramped up to inform the public about genetic conservation in endangered species. Awareness can help raise funds for research and preservation efforts targeting the Amur leopard crisis. At zoos and wildlife centers, caretakers are adjusting diets and living conditions for mutated individuals. These small changes aim to improve immune health and fertility outcomes, while long-term solutions are studied. The phenomenon has caught the attention of big cat specialists from around the world. Similar mutations have occasionally appeared in lions and jaguars, although with less severe consequences. Some experts believe climate-driven stress may be accelerating the emergence of genetic oddities in many large predators. As their habitats fragment, these animals are being pushed into smaller, more isolated populations. Such isolation dramatically increases the risk of harmful mutations becoming fixed within a group. Even historically stable species can suffer genetic collapse if their numbers fall below certain thresholds. This has triggered alarm bells across the conservation community, urging for faster habitat protection initiatives. Forest corridors, for example, are vital for connecting isolated leopard groups and encouraging genetic exchange. Without such lifelines, even healthy populations can spiral into genetic homogeneity and collapse. Big cats need more than space. They need freedom to roam and mate with genetically diverse partners. Current efforts are shifting toward high-tech conservation, blending fieldwork with genomic science. Portable labs and remote sensors are helping conservationists work faster in rugged terrain. Governments are also stepping in, providing emergency funds to bolster Amur leopard protection zones. But success depends on long-term commitment and international cooperation to safeguard these predators. The Amur leopard mutation is now being viewed as both a threat and an opportunity. If harnessed correctly, it might lead to new adaptations that help leopards survive in a changing world. But missteps could doom the species to extinction before we fully understand what's at stake. The story of this mutation is far from over. It's a race between extinction and evolution, and humanity stands at the crossroads, holding the power to tip the scales either way.